Hello.
Welcome, everyone, to the Simply Subjective podcast and live show. We're live on TikTok every Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm your host, Abby. This is my co-host, Rado. Rado, do you have anything
How's
you'd
it
like
going,
to say?
guys? Week 3. Let me tell you how
I
much
know.
easier this feels now that we've made it past the first week.
It
You know what
really
I mean?
does.
It has been, yeah. So again, now that if you're into episode 3 or if you're just joining us for the first time, I hope by now the people that have been here know exactly what it is. We are talking about simply subjective things and all ranges of things, serious things, not so serious things. And if you're now on episode 3, you know exactly what is happening. So the thing that I like to do now that we can throw it into the mix is we can just be like, let's get into it. And then all this magic happens behind, like Wayne's World. But see, now we're
I'm.
back.
Can, can we? Can we just say let's get into it?
This is I could
You've
say
like
that, but see
you've
now I
like
get to do the
thoroughly.
magic finger snap.
Okay. I
Yeah, I get to
understand
do the
what you're
magic.
saying, but you lost me for a second, but I'm glad we're back and back to earth.
Was it the Wayne's World thing?
Yeah, I have a confession. I've never seen Wayne's World.
You haven't seen it?
Mm-mm. So
Can we get a clip real quick of the woogity woogity? And then Abby can go see this later. You'll get to see it in editing when it happens.
Yeah, I'll see it in the editing
do
process.
this with me. You ready? We'll cue it.
Okay.
Are you ready to cue it?
Yeah. I'm not making the noise. I'm not making the noise. Is that enough? Will that make sense?
Well, now we're back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, now we're back from the going back in the past.
All right, let's get into our weekly catch-ups. I have something important that I want to talk about. I have been
interested.
I've been getting probably the best sleep of my life lately. And there's steps that I've done to make sure I get the best sleep of my life, but it's been pretty life-changing. And I just thought that I would catch everyone up that I've perfected my sleep this week.
This based off of how you're feeling, or do you have an app that's telling you that you're getting the best sleep ever?
Oh, just how I'm feeling. I know. I need to get an app. I should get I really want to get the Oura Ring, but I should get a Whoop or something. But it's pretty life-changing I'll go over right now some of the things that has happened that I feel like has led to all of this. So do you want to hear them all?
I want to hear all of them.
Okay. Just making sure we're interested in this. I think I will start with I'll start from the smallest to the biggest life-changing thing. The biggest one will be at the end. But I think, for one, I got that alarm clock. That's it's not a Hatch, but it's it's a sun rising one or whatever, which that feature's great. But what?
Well, not everybody lives in LA and knows all these fancy gizmos and gadgets. So could you maybe tell me what a Hatch is?
Oh, Hatch is this really cool alarm clock that I don't have one. I mean, they have different features. They have sound machines and stuff like that. But the Hatch is a sunrise alarm clock where it gradually just has a light feature that gets brighter and brighter. So you wake up to the light as opposed to a sound. So that's amazing.
A soft wake up.
A soft wake up.
Okay.
That's great. But it also has a little noise machine on it, and it has 30 different sounds. Again, I don't have the Hatch. I have a different version of it, or a different brand. But mine has sounds. So I have this low sound going. It sounds like a fan, but it's just like really close to my bed, so it's like next to my ear. And then I have an actual little tiny fan that's on my side table that's like in my direction so that I'm getting some airflow. And then I have in my room, we have a Dyson air purifier, but I have the heating setting on now, which is life changing. So now my room is hot, but like directly at me, the fan is a little cool. You have to have all the temperatures.
Yeah.
And then
I like fans.
Yeah, I need all the noise. All of those noises are like working in my favor. And then
Okay.
I recently got new bedding, and it's very, very fluffy and comfy. So the bedding is like top notch. So soft, so fluffy. It's like more comfortable than a hotel. Yeah. Okay. Well, I was gonna say hotel beds, but or a warm hug, I guess.
So not a warm hug. Not quite a warm hug.
Not quite, but I mean, yeah, I guess it's better than. I mean, I love my bed, but also the very last life-changing thing. This is the main one. This is the one I'm like, I now need to travel with. Is my pillow. That pillow I got from the TikTok shop, where it's like it's like helps rest your neck. It looks like a funny pillow. It has like these like edges on the side that go up, so if you sleep on your side you can put your hand under it, but it rests your neck, like it braces it up. Oh my god, it's life changing. I had to stay at a hotel over Thanksgiving, and the whole weekend I had like a headache because my neck was like really like kinked and all like messed up and stuff because I didn't have my pillow. And I think that's like one of the main life-changing features that I have now of the best sleep of my life.
Nice. So besides plugging TikTok shop,
I know.
How much do one of those pillows cost you or set you back?
Let me look this up because I think it's like 50. I'll look it up real quick for $50?
You. I thought we were getting cheap stuff off TikTok shop.
Oh no, on TikTok. I'm sorry, I thought you meant like off of TikTok shop. No, yeah, like on Amazon it's like $40. I think TikTok shop is I was sent it. I don't remember.
Oh no, I'm gonna say probably like $14, $14 to $20, I bet.
Oops, what's happening?
Yeah, and there's coupons probably.
I have to look it up. I'll have to look it up later, but that was the most life-changing thing. Yeah. Yep. So
I might try one.
That's now I have the best sleep of my life, and everything's great. And that's been my weekly catch-up.
I like to hug pillows, like squeeze them. Does that give you that feeling because your arm's under it, kind of?
Oh, no? I see what you're saying. Yeah. I would need another pillow. Yeah. Well, if you like to hug a pillow, that's like different.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little different. But this one, this is perfect for you to sleep on your side, but you would probably see, I usually have my cat that I hold like this. But that's not a joke. She's the one that's wrapped in a blanket, and then I'm holding her like this. But the pillow itself is like great. It offers the best neck support. I've told so many people about this pillow because it's like literally changed my life that much.
So Stacy in chat said, and I don't know what that is, but what is a pregnancy pillow?
Oh, that's what Stacy suggested you get a pregnancy pillow?
She says, I use a pregnancy pillow, but I'm not pregnant.
That's amazing. A pregnancy pillow is, if I'm right, I might be wrong, but I think it curves to your body.
Belly?
But it would, I guess to your belly. I'm trying to think, right? Okay. Yeah, it like curves and then you wrap your leg around it. I thought there's a curve.
Okay.
Maybe there's not.
Or big body pillows. So like legs, arms, like the bigger, I can just like hold on to it.
I love body pillows. The best. Yeah, Stacy in chat said that it's it feels like it's hugging you, which that's like nice.
Okay.
We have a
I hear. Which one is it?
We have a guest. It is Gloom. I
Or
don't
is
know
it
if she.
Bones this
Oh,
time?
Gloomy.
Bones doesn't care to be on the podcast, but
Well,
Gloom is all about it.
Bones is like not. I don't know what Bones has too much going on. Oh, I thought she's gonna hold on. Nope. In a second,
Too
she'll
busy
make an
with those
appearance.
rave lights outside.
Yeah, too much. What's been going
So,
on with you? I can't wait to hear your life story for this week.
you know what? This week has been um fairly uneventful. I probably
Oh,
actually had more of an event happen while we were preparing for this
mm-hmm.
podcast than the rest of the week, to be honest with you. By the
Interesting.
way,
Okay.
everybody, um, Abby would never sell me out, but I was definitely having conversations about beauty products before this podcast started today. So it was pretty eventful.
Oh, yes. It was. I feel like we could get into it. That's a pretty exciting thing for you. And I feel like we have to show the examples. Not like
You're
not
looking at
not
my
like
beautiful smooth face
well,
right
yes, I
now.
know, but like the example of like how can we talk about it?
Um, I mean, yeah, go for it. I don't have much to say. I had to ask you all the questions, remember?
Rado recently discovered eye patches, like under eye patches. He's never used one before,
I
apparently.
did.
And I was like, well, there's under eye cream you could also use. And he said he's used those, but those don't work like these under eye patches worked. And I mean, he showed me like a before photo and it's crazy. It's pretty great. So
Yes.
but
By the way, I didn't go searching for these. I had them available. And so first of all, it freaked me out when they opened the jar. I don't know if it's supposed to be like it, but it just was a jar of goo. And I didn't actually know what was in there. I just saw like it's something about
mhm.
facial stuff. And then I looked inside of it and it just like, it was goo. And then I like went to touch it and I'm like, oh, there's things in there. And then as I pulled them out, they were like these little half moon looking things. And I assumed they were the under eye thing. And
So
look, I don't have any
they look
bags.
beautiful.
I'm gonna use them
They
all the
look
time.
great. Um, so then we were discussing because he was saying he had bags under his eyes, and he was trying to show me the example of like bringing the bags back to his under eyes. Can we show the faces that you were? He did not know how to like create. Oh, you got it now though. I had to tell. I had it.
I'm a
My
fast
trick
learner.
worked. My trick worked. He was making like he was like mean mugging me, and I'm like, that is not like with his eyebrows and his like forehead. I had to tell him to pretend like he was trying to see something far away, like so that you can bring your eyes up. But he was going like this, and I'm like, that's not the same thing, and that's not gonna like show me. That's
Pretty
that's
much
pretty
if I'm
good.
trying to read TikTok chat, that's what I'm gonna do.
Well, that's just for
Yeah.
you
So and then
showing where your bags are. So you don't want to do that.
so you do that and then you apply them.
No, no, no,
You
no.
make them real baggy.
All we were talking about is you were just trying to show me what your bags looked like. So you're trying to make the face again to like make them reappear. You don't do that.
Yeah, that's a bad idea.
That's all bad.
Listen, I don't know. Did some exfoliating, did some stuff. Not that my skin's ever really bad, but I have some products, and I'm like, I think I just took off like maybe 3 years.
We should do like a self-care night.
Now I get why it's a thing.
We should do a little self-care night where we're doing like.
Can we get cucumbers?
If we could, that would be great.
I mean, listen, is the cucumber actually doing anything, or is it just for show?
Who knows? It's fun. Let's just do it. Let's just try. I think technically that it's supposed
robes,
to.
Cotton balls. Does anybody in chat know what cucumbers do?
I think it's supposed to have like a like anti-inflammatory like effect. I don't know if that's true though.
Okay, so it's pretty much like putting what I just put on my eyes, but a whole ass cucumber slice. Does anybody eat those afterwards? I like cucumbers.
Ew, no.
Can I eat them when they're done resting on my eyes?
No. We're already moving on from this.
Oh.
That we're no longer having a self-care night
You
if
guys
this is what's
might,
gonna happen.
I'm just, see, you might regret inviting me to that. Katie in chat says I can eat them. She said I can
Not
do whatever I
after they've been
want.
sitting on your face and eyes.
It's just sitting on my eyes. There's nothing else on there. See these eyes? Clean.
I don't trust it, especially if we're doing like self care and we have like eye patches. What if the cucumber touches the eye patch?
Do you
It's too
know,
much of a risk.
have you ever seen the stuff that lives on your eyelashes? All your
Yeah,
little
that's
eyelash
gross.
bugs? Maybe we
I have
shouldn't
seen
eat the
that.
cucumbers. Yeah, they're pretty
There you
gross.
go. I'm glad we came back around to this. You should have just listened to me from the beginning, but I'm glad we had to work through that together.
I mean, I'd probably still eat them.
Do you want to play your favorite game?
So, we do. So, chat, we are going to do That Can't Be Real. These are not going to be as long as they once were. So be quick on your feet this time because you never know. I'm trying not to give too much detail. I feel like the more detail I give, the more Abby knows I'm full of shit.
It's true.
So, yes.
So we're giving
So,
little small
pull-
titles.
These are small titles. Okay. So, first story. Remember, guys, if you want to put in chat 1, 2, or 3, that will indicate what story you think is fake. So if you think it's the first one, second one, or third one, for all of our listeners, we are playing That Can't Be Real. There are 2 crazy stories that are real and 1 that is false. And Abby
And I
and the
have to
chat
guess.
have to figure out which story is false. Okay. So in Norfolk, England, lives an old woman. And again, these time periods can be throughout history. It's not recent always. In Norfolk, England, lives an old woman with 20 spoons. Now, the handles of twisted silver, 10 small spoons are made of the fingernails of her late husband. So she basically has made the handles out of toenails. So she has 10 large spoons.
Wait, toenails or
that are made
fingernails?
completely
Also,
out of his
it's
toenails. Toenails. And fingernails.
that's disgusting.
A correction. Fingernails for small spoons and toenails were used for the large spoon handles.
This is the worst
That was gross.
story you've ever told so far.
Fingernails and toenails are gross. Definitely toenails.
That's
second
disgusting.
story. In Los Angeles.
Wait. That was
in
it?
Los
So
Angeles,
a woman, hold on. A woman made spoons?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. These are going to be short if they're true or not. So she made short spoons and large spoons, right? Kind of think of like maybe like the teaspoons.
This is so
and then
gross.
a normal spoon.
Okay, I don't think I can hear about it anymore. I just want to make sure there's spoons. Okay, let's go on to the next.
Small spoons, big spoons.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
it makes
get it.
sense for the big spoons, bigger fingernails, toenails.
That's disgusting. Go on.
She must have been. I just think more like bones, like somebody made like a bone handle, but it's just a bunch of little tiny bone fragments. Toe spoons.
Okay, I'm wanting to get through this as
Okay.
fast as possible with that story.
All right. In Los Angeles, the State Bureau of Furniture, okay, I didn't even know there was one, and bedding inspection was summoned by a man who suffered from insomnia. And he was complaining because he had taken it to this mattress company to be restuffed. I didn't know that was a thing. This was back in the older days, where, you know, like cobblers for shoes. I can imagine people getting things like remade, stuffed, whatever, instead of like buying new. So he had his mattress restuffed, and then he was having like insomnia. He wasn't sleeping good. So this State of Bureau of Furniture and Bedding Inspection came and inspected, ripped open the mattress, and found it actually was restuffed with a 5-pound slab of concrete and then a bunch of old like suits and underwear, like clothing.
Okay, these this week is
Are you
wild.
thinking about how
Okay,
comfy your mattress is right now?
I am. I was thinking how fitting
Alright,
it
third
is that
story.
I'm having the best sleep of my life. Go on.
Yeah, but if you rip it open, you could have a bunch of somebody's underwear or old suits in there. Just think about
Let's
that.
go to number 3.
Number 3, a 41-year-old woman, okay, had won the lottery. After she won the lottery, she ended up getting arrested. The reason that she got arrested was she went to her place of work, went to her boss's desk, and then defecated on it, took a big ass shit right on his desk
God.
after winning the lottery and quit her job. And no, we're not talking about Amber Heard.
Okay.
All
I
right.
feel like
So those are the 3. Toe spoons, stuffed mattress, and shitting on desks.
I know. Why
What-
did these
are
have
you
to be
waiting for
so
chat?
gross today?
Because they're crazy stories.
Chat, can I get some help at what we think is the lie? Yeah, Techno, that was my first thought. But ooh, oh
Lady
my
in chat
God.
said she's going with number 2. Get it?
Okay,
So
I've
really, she's
already
going
seen
with number
2.
3.
Okay. I've already seen 2. You should have made that in the second order. That would have been fitting. Okay, everyone in the chat is going with 1, and I'm also going to go with 1. So 1 is false.
1 is absolutely true.
Shut up.
So this happened this was reported in December 12th of 1932.
Disgusting.
It's gross. The stuffed mattress happened and was reported in November 1st of 1937, and the woman taking a big old shit on her boss's desk was false. That was reported by The Onion as a comedy thing that was put up there. So number 3.
That's so dumb.
This is week number 2 that I stumped Abby and you. That's you, the chat.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, that was not needed. Well,
I'm just saying, I took a lot to heart after the first episode when you said that you can tell when I'm lying, and now I've been practicing a lot.
You've been really practicing. I can tell. Your lies are getting different.
And I could say there probably isn't a time in history where that actually probably has happened. But these are new stories that I was taking. I'm sure somebody's taken a nice big elephant dump right on their boss's desk before.
I'm sure that's been a thing.
Can I tell you something that's really going to blow everybody's mind? I hope you're ready for this. And this
can I pause this? Because I hate the way you just segued into that from your last sentence. Like, I don't know if I want to hear this. Am I allowed to say no, that I don't want to hear this? I don't know what in that sentence made you think of this next thing that you really want to talk about.
The shit made me think about it.
This episode is probably by far.
How about we get a vote? Can we get a vote in chat?
If we want to hear what you're about to say or not. Is that the vote?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Let's do a vote.
If you guys want to hear the story, this is either going to end up on the podcast forever or nobody's ever going to know about it. And
Can
people are
you
going to
say
be
your
wondering.
last sentence again? Do you remember? Do you remember what your last sentence was?
No.
I don't remember what you said. I just know that I didn't want to hear it. The next part.
Oh. Well, I didn't even get to say it. I just said it reminded me of the Dookie.
Yeah.
Let's just test it and vote afterwards. I mean, that makes total sense. All right. It seems like they want to hear it.
Oh my God.
So.
I didn't vote this, everyone.
You're not going to take your earphones out, are you? I mean, it might not be a gross story.
Okay.
However, that's not the case here. This is disgusting.
Okay.
So. There is a street
wait. Is this going to be something go on. There's a street in Colorado.
That's okay, Katie. Thank you. Yeah. So if anybody that does live in Colorado, where my Coloradoans at, there is a street called Colfax. Okay, it is the not so great place to be in Denver. When you hear Colfax, it's like, ugh. Well, a guy got arrested that worked at a Taco Bell because he had been shitting in the beans,
No, no,
and that is a
don't
true
talk
story.
about that.
Yep, I didn't eat Taco
No,
Bell for years. Dude literally was
that's
pooping in them beans.
disgusting. Okay, I have to
It's gross.
say, this is so funny. This just this this is what this reminded me of. Yesterday at the office, we had someone
Sorry,
coming
Fritz.
and doing lighting at the office, and he was saying his first job ever was at Taco Bell. And Madison was asking, she said, is it true that it's like super dirt? Like, she was like, how dirty is it? And is it true that people pee in the beans? And then all of us in the office are like, what are you talking about? Like, who who does that? And then he was saying that it was super clean. It was actually the cleanest like place he's ever worked. He said that it was like they always excelled like all of their like any kind of like inspections or whatever, like
Hmm.
all their stuff. He said it was like a very like the cleanest place he's ever worked, and like surprisingly was like he was like, no, it's not like that. So I'm here to save Taco Bell after you saying that. That's
No, Taco Bell's great, just not the ones in those parts of the neighborhood. Like, it was a
yeah, I
bad
guess
situation.
like
Here's what
don't
I
go to
can
Taco
say.
Bell in Colorado, I guess.
Well, and this was also like I think back in the 90s or early 2000s. Probably the 90s when I
Oh,
remember hearing
what?
about
You
it.
should have
But listen,
started with that. You acted like this was
no, we can't
recent.
start a good story. No. But I can also tell you that if you read like a lot of the things about fast food places in general, Taco Bell usually is like number one for a lot of things. They're like actually the healthiest out of all the fast food restaurants out there. And there's some other things
And
too. So, I wouldn't be surprised that they
I
weren't
love Taco
clean
Bell.
and not mixed with poop.
Okay. Can we go on to the next? Because I don't think I can continue to hear you talk about that anymore.
Well, I know the chapter for our episode 3 is going to be called. Um,
Oh, what?
so,
God damn
everybody,
it.
we get to answer some wonderful questions that you guys have either brought to our attention through our email, which you can email questions to, and you'll get an idea of what kind of questions we get asked, but simply subjectivepodcast@gmail.com, or you can follow us on Instagram and send us a direct message on there as well with your questions. We will read them live. We will not say who they're from, but we will answer them. So please feel free to message us, and we would be happy to read your questions live on TikTok, as well as posted on our
Yes.
Spotify and Apple and YouTube and everywhere
All the
else.
things.
Um,
All right. You
so I
want
think
to
I'll
read the
actually
first
start off with
question?
this first question. Yeah,
Okay.
this is a really good question. This is probably one that's more deep than we're used to, but I thought about it and it was actually a really good question. So, the person said, I often feel overwhelmed juggling work, relationships, and personal goals. How do you manage to balance multiple priorities? First of all,
Oof.
maybe we don't juggle very well
That's all. I'm
at
all,
times.
Rado, can you answer
Ooh.
so I can listen?
Yeah, maybe it's not always so easy to juggle all of them. So this is a question that I'm not surprised by. But for myself, specifically, it has been challenging to balance a lot of those things. And depending on the person and what they have going on, obviously more than others. The easiest thing I could tell you in two different ways would either be depending on what you want your outcome to be, right? What do you want to juggle and make the most priority first? I think is what you need to figure out, whether that is work, relationship, or even your personal goals, because sometimes you are going to have to sacrifice, right, on certain things because there are only so many
That's
hours in the
true.
day.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
So,
I feel like it's hard to balance everything. I mean, I feel like it's constantly something I'm working on. I will say I'm like looking at this like juggling work, relationships, personal goals. I will say that the weeks that I'm doing my best is when I'm like prioritizing, I guess, like myself and my mental health and everything. So for me, that, I mean, everyone's different, but for me, that's like me actually waking up early and going to the gym and like having my lunches prepared for the week so that I'm like not just, ordering out or something that's maybe, not the healthiest or the best. Like I'm actually prepared and like taking care of myself, because then I'm, not as stressed and like a better version of myself. And that kind of helps with everything else. So, but it is hard because I'm constantly working on that every week. It's always different.
Well, and I think at least there's going to be some people that agree, and I think you would agree with me on this, Abby, because we're both kind of the same. But when you have a ton of stuff going on in your life in all aspects, the easiest way is to put it on your calendar, regardless of what
Oh,
it is.
yeah.
Like calendar up your life,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I do for work. That's what I do for other things. But if you like one mentally, you are not having to think about all the stuff that you need to do or what's going on when you can see your day and you know that that's what it is. And then the minute you know you're going to do something, like don't hesitate to put it on. Like if somebody hits you up, a friend hits you up and is like, hey man, you want to go have dinner, Friday, 7 o'clock or whatever, meet up with the boys. And you're like, yeah, like instantly put it on your calendar. Like, don't be like, I'll, when I get done with stuff, I'll throw it on later. Cause you might forget and you might not, but
I use
that
my
would be my
calendar
biggest thing
for
is
everything.
calendar,
Yeah, and then
calendar.
Chrissy in chat
So
made a really good point too. She said to-do list, and I love a to-do list. I write one
mhm,
every morning, so that's another great way.
it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I it can be weird sometimes too, where my relationship, when I was essentially talking about kind of penciling in time for your significant other, like,
Oh,
yeah, that
yeah.
might seem weird to say, like, hey, I'm penciling in time for people I'm with, but like the reality is that again, depending on how busy you are, you're getting like I might be married to you, you might be my fiance, like this, but like we'll hang out from this time to this time, and then I got to finish this or that. But
No,
it's
100%. And
sometimes being able to talk through.
also, that's another great tip for like relationships wise, is that doing a shared calendar. So when you're trying to plan things, you can kind of like see a tentative like around their schedule and whatnot. And then when you like text them, it's easier, or like talk to them, it's easier to like get an idea of like when you guys can do something.
Yeah, and then you share a calendar with all your boys, and then all the guys can put in what their wives are doing and everything else, and then the boys will know
You do
when we can all
not
get
do
together and
that.
schedule that in.
You do not do that.
I'm just saying. I'm just listen. If you guys don't do it, it might be time to do it. So the wives won't have it on their
I'm
calendars,
done.
but the boys will know what's going down.
No.
You
Next
probably
question.
wonder. Okay, all right.
Wait,
This one has to
pause.
do with pause.
You didn't say hi to Gloom. This is rude.
Hi, Gloom. How are you?
She said
Is she gonna
she's
say
good.
something back? Oh, she's
She'll
okay.
give you some purrs soon. Don't worry. She's she's processing how she feels with you not welcoming her in.
I actually think you have some news to tell everybody about Gloom.
I do have news about Gloom. I'll hold off until after the questions to talk about it.
Okay. So this is, do you have any strange or unique food combinations that you secretly enjoy? I have a lot of weird food combinations. I don't have to secretly enjoy them, but I do have some pretty weird ones that
Ooh.
might make people like, what?
What are they? I want to hear. How many?
There's a couple. There's some that I've known about for years that I've been told about, and I have not tried them yet. I'm still scared to try them, and
No,
I'm
you got to
thinking they're
talk
going to be
about
really
what
good.
you like.
Oh, I know. I'm just adding that as well. Um, so one actually that Katie brought up in chat, she said mac and cheese and ketchup. It's okay, but I feel like I'm dumbing my mac and cheese down by putting ketchup in it.
I
No,
recently
not
heard
my
about
thing.
that. I had no idea people put ketchup in mac and cheese, and I recently heard about that, and I
It's
do
okay.
not think I'm a fan of that. I haven't tried it,
However,
but I
I
don't
will
think I'd be a
change.
fan.
Well, you can tell me if this sounds weird to you or not, but I will tell you this is a combination that you can do with mac and cheese and one seasoning that will change your mac and cheese forever, and that's lemon pepper.
Interesting. That sounds
Does that seem
good.
weird?
No, that seems
It's
good.
really
That doesn't
good. You
sound like
kind
a
of
weird food combo.
good.
Why do you okay, you come in here with these like this is going to be really weird. I don't and then it's like the most like no, I'm
No, I
like
have some
that
weird
sounds
ones.
nice. Can we hear some
Well, I
weird ones
wasn't
cuz
even
now I don't want
thinking.
to say mine.
Well, I wasn't even thinking of mac and cheese. I actually forgot about that one, but Katie in chat brought it up, and then I remembered like this is one of my favorite things is mac and cheese with lemon pepper, and I do get that kind of reaction sometimes where people are like actually sounds kind of good, and it's bomb.
Yeah.
All right, one though for me, which I was like felt like it's really weird, but now it kind of made sense to me, is mustard on my pepperoni pizza.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
I
and I didn't.
love
I thought it sounded
mustard.
gross. So do I though. I love mustard, but it did sound a little weird. And then I tried it, and I was like, this is actually pretty good.
What kind of pizza?
Just like pepperoni pizza is all I tried it on. It'd probably be good on
No
cheese or
way.
just any kind of meat. I'm sure. I bet you it's good on like everything except
Interesting. Do
for
you do this
I'm
every
big
time?
into like if I have like if I see a pepperoni pizza, I will.
What
I
were you
think
going
I've
to say? You're big
conditioned
into what?
myself to do that. Like Greek pizzas now, I don't know, like olives and basil and stuff like that. So I don't know if mustard would play the same. It would with like a pepperoni.
Interesting. I've also never heard them called
Techno,
Greek pizzas.
I don't know. That's what I call them. It's probably not appropriate. They probably have like a Mediterranean style pizza. That's what we're looking for.
Okay.
But
Yeah, that works.
Techno Cat said in chat that he put salsa on his French bread. But that actually sounds good to me.
That sounds good. Oh, wait, salsa. I'm thinking of like a marinara. I don't know about that.
Well, they're
Okay.
they're still
I guess it's
tomatoes.
kind of the same. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Tell us your
Mine,
crazy,
I'm
wild,
scared to
gross.
say. I'm scared to say it because people hate on this one specific food a lot. I love cottage cheese.
So do
Are
I.
you a fan or do you hate it? Okay, you do. Okay.
I love cottage cheese.
I
I love it.
I love I love scrambled eggs with cottage cheese. Have you had that?
Mm,
I saw it
no.
on here's the
I've
thing.
mixed some
I saw
stuff.
it on TikTok and that's what made me try it. If you have warm, fluffy scrambled eggs and then you put cottage cheese on top and mix it up, it makes like the creamiest eggs and it's so good.
See, I will try that.
That's my
I'm usually like, give me some little mandarin oranges and throw them in there with some salt and pepper. I'll do it. Grapes are
See,
good.
you know what's
Grapes with
weird?
ricotta cheese.
I don't like cottage cheese with like fruit on it. I like cottage cheese just
Okay.
plain
With some
or
scrambled ass
with
eggs.
scrambled eggs. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's
But
my weird.
grapes and ricotta. Do you like ricotta cheese?
I do love ricotta cheese. Yeah.
Yeah. Get some green grapes. Get like a little cup of ricotta. Throw few green grapes in there, and eat that. You'll be like, what the hell? It's really good.
I think the issue
So
is
one of
I'm
the
not a
craziest
big
ones.
fruit person. Oh, what?
What are you plugged into right now? Okay, you're with me.
I'm right. I
You're
am
good.
with you over here.
I felt like we were getting some lag there. Maybe we are.
I know, me too.
That's all right.
I'm not on my
You're
iPad.
not a big fruit person?
No. I think my issue is a lot of it makes my throat itch, so I just like never really ate a lot of fruit. The only fruit that I mean, I do sometimes I'll eat like if I eat fruit like maybe berries, but and I do
Wait,
love apples with peanut butter and that's it. Huh?
you know why your throat itches, right?
Why?
Because you're probably allergic.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. No,
You,
yeah, that's what I mean.
okay, well, oh, you're like, I just, it makes my throat a little itchy. I don't, that's probably why I don't eat it.
I'm like
Well, yeah, because your
I'm
body's,
very yeah, I'm very allergic to bananas. I break out in hives. I'm allergic to avocados. I'll break out in hives. I'm a lot of like melons make my throat itch. I don't know what it is.
Wow. Have you ever had
Hmm.
guacamole?
I have. Avocado is not the worst one. I can eat a little bit and be fine, but I just don't like risking it.
I feel bad for everybody that has food allergy. That's got to be rough because one, and even bananas, like bananas have some really good nutrients that are good for you.
I know.
That, well, it's fine. All right. Um, Next question. How has technology impacted your personal life, both positively and negatively? I feel like this could go on forever for so many
Hmm.
things. But I can tell you
Agreed.
positively, obviously, I think connecting with people, my work life is easier. I can do so much more connecting with people around the world, doing our podcast like we're doing. The negativity, obviously, spending too much time on it, regardless for anybody. And the things that we
Yeah.
can't see, there's obviously, it hasn't really, there's not the negativity part in negatively that it would affect me is probably spending too much time on it. But everything else outside of that, I could care less what it affects if it doesn't have anything to do with me. Because I
Are
could stay
you
away
more
from
so
the bad stuff.
are you more so talking about technology in general, or are you talking about social media? Because it sounds like you're kind of going closer to social media when you're saying the negatives.
Well, I would say, yeah, that's kind of what I would say. Technology, but social media also, there's benefits to it, I think, because
Hmm.
obviously, again, like having the technology and social media to connect with people can be both good. And then also, the bad part is if you spend too much time on it and consume yourself. Like, one of the things that is crazy that I was watching a thing about was how TikTok can really, really mentally affect you because one minute you're scrolling and you get to see all these cute little Sphinx cats and they're like in their little costumes and you're laughing and giggling and you scroll and 1 second later is something horrible or stuff that's going on or a scary story or something bad and then you scroll again and it's a prank and two kids you scroll again and it's like they say the amount of emotions that your body is constantly changing while you're seeing all this different stuff can like negatively impact your health also as your mental. So,
I can see that.
when you think
Yeah.
about it like that, it's like, geez, like, yeah, that kind of can make some sense too.
I agree. I'm a big fan of technology, though. I love technology. I think it's amazing, all the things that we can do that I don't even understand still. So, technology as a whole, I'm a big fan of. But I do agree. I mean, I think that kind of goes back to that first question about like balance and stuff. I mean, I think it's important to still go outside and see like natural sunlight and like be with like the rest of the world and human interaction and all the things.
Grounding.
But yeah, grounding. I love grounding, but I think it's also amazing that like you can have family in like different parts of the world and you can like communicate with them so easily. And it's like you don't have
Yeah.
to, you know, be that far away. So I love technology.
Yeah. Obviously benefits to both. Um,
Hmm.
if you were a fortune cookie, oh hell yeah. If you were a fortune cookie, what message would you want to deliver to someone opening you? I would be a bad fortune cookie to open, where somebody be like, "How the fuck did this get in here?" That's the fortune cookie I'd want to deliver
That
to the world.
that makes sense and is very on brand. Mine
Okay,
would be
I mean,
something
I'm
nice
sure.
like my teas that I read the things. It'd be something nice and positive.
I mean, my fortune cookie would probably be like the one that would be the best. Um,
Oh my
where do you see
god.
yourself in the next 5 or 10 years? Canceled, probably.
Ooh.
I mean, I'll probably be
Probably.
canceled, but in 5 or 10 years, I'm gonna start with 5 years. Um, I think where I would see myself is definitely in better positions with everything I already have going on. Like there's good things, but I feel like everything I'm working on hopefully would just be better. So podcasts would be better. My work would be better. Everything else I'm doing, just everything would be better. Mental health better. That's what I want in 5 years. In 10 years, I really want to see myself working towards a not retirement, but a type
Oh
of as I
wow.
do everything, I'm doing everything for myself. well, in 10 years I'll be 47. So
A
that's when I
type of
should be thinking about
retirement
it.
in 10 years. Me too. I want that.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be in retirement, but I want to be at a spot where like I could be able to kind of start really doing all the things I want to do. Where I'm not in
Mm,
retirement, but I am my entire life now revolves around projects and other things that I'm working on. So like personal type projects that make money, so I'm not feeling like I'm working. So that's why I say like
okay,
an
that's a
almost
nice
semi
one.
retired. 10 years, maybe. It'd probably take me longer, but that would be a goal for me.
In the next 5 to 10 years, hopefully by then I'm married. Have a nice, beautiful house
Year 8.
um in a nice neighborhood that I can take morning strolls with my kittens because they're still kittens no matter what age they are. That I can walk around the neighborhood with my little kittens in their stroller and have my cup of coffee and just thriving. That's what I see my life. That's what I want at least. We'll see.
You literally threw cats in a stroller in that
That's all I want.
time.
I know I want a house. I want to be married and I want to go on morning walks with my cats. I'm not that complicated. It's very simple. That's what I want. I want a beautiful house in a nice neighborhood so I can take my cats on morning strolls. I don't think it's that insane.
I no comment.
You can be
Going, you
retired. I
guys,
can be taking my cats on strolls.
yeah, there'll be a whole. You guys can have a whole village of cats and strollers.
Thank you.
Yep. Last
Next one.
question: is there a philosophy or saying that you live by? I have two of them, and they're actually both really good. Do you
Wait,
want me to
what?
start this one?
Yeah, let's hear your philosophies.
I mean, you might feel like you want to change yours, whatever you're thinking, by the time you
Here,
hear
can
these and
I
be like,
wait?
yes, those are
Can
mine. Those are mine now.
Okay, wait, pause this. We got to talk to the chat for a second because before we go live, Rado and I go on like an hour earlier and discuss the break. Like, we go over like the questions and things like that. And then we go over these. Oh, so I like to kind of like I like to know my answers before. So we got to this one, the philosophy, and I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to say for my philosophy? And then Rod was like, I know mine. And I was like, what's your philosophy? And then you told me that they're Instagram memes. That's what you live
Sure
your
did.
life by, Instagram memes.
I did.
So for everybody
But
that
there are
is
real
about to hear,
philosophies that
but he
happen.
wouldn't tell me. He wouldn't tell me, of course, because he wants me to apparently be surprised by this. Um, so
You will be
I've been
surprised.
waiting
I
to
think
hear
everybody
what
will
your
be surprised.
philosophy is that you live by.
Okay, well, I have two of them. And the reason that I
Okay.
have two of them is because I've had one that I've lived by for the longest time that is legit, that is a great philosophy. And the second one is one that came up later in my life that I absolutely, I mean, there's a lot of things I love to hear and live by, but those two are like my go tos. And they both specifically, well, now I can think of a third, but we'll go with
Oh
these two.
God.
There's certain things that mentally you got to tell yourself. So one of them is, and it actually was by Henry Ford, and it was
Hmm.
whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. I was
That's
like,
a nice one. Okay.
it's great. And so you know what I tell people when I try to like if they're like I can't do this, I can't do this, and you're trying to like get them beefed up, and you're trying to be like, yeah, man, of course you can, and they keep going down that route. You know what I finally say? You're right. You can't. You're right.
Okay. I like that. That doesn't feel
So
like an Instagram
yes,
meme.
I've
What's your
always lived by
second
that.
one?
The second one is if you know me and you have a problem with me, call me. If you don't know me and you don't have my number, then you obviously don't know me well enough to have a problem with me.
I feel like you botched that a little bit.
If you don't know me, I was trying to think of it, but I said it correctly. If you know
No,
me
I
and you
get
have a
what you're
problem with me,
saying.
call me. Yeah, if you know me and you don't have a problem, sorry. If you know me and you have a problem with me, call me. If you have a problem with me and you don't know me, sorry. If you have a problem
No,
and you don't have my
no.
number, I'm saying the second part right. This is the second part. If you have a problem with me and you don't know my number, then you don't know me well enough to have a problem with me. Jesus Christ. Guys, we're going to rewind and cut it back. I'm going to say it one more time because chat is completely lost. The things you live by, if I could say them correctly, I'm going to say it again. And everybody open up your ears. So Tom Holland, that's not a Tom Holland quote. Tom Holland quoted that, Katie, from another guy. But yes, technically you're correct. But I love it. It's phenomenal. And again, now that you've settled down, it's if you know me and have a problem with me, call me. If you have a problem with me and you don't know my number, dude, I know by now.
You're trying so hard.
I'm trying so hard to have you not lose it. That's what I'm trying to get through.
This is like 30 minutes of the episode is you just trying to say the quote you live by.
Y'all fucking understand what the hell the quote is. But yes, if I could ever say it correctly, that's the one I really live by.
Okay.
I'm done now. I'm done.
I'm not gonna lie, you guys. I didn't have a philosophy. I don't have a philosophy. I said that if I could pick one, I would pick Dory from Finding Nemo. Just keep swimming would be my philosophy, which we can go with that. But like, there is not really a solid answer for me, unfortunately.
What was the one before that?
Oh, wait.
It was a good one.
It is what it is?
Yeah, but I think there's another way.
You get what you get and you don't throw a fit?
Yeah, I was like, that's definitely, I can see that being Abby's philosophy 100%. Like,
I mean, those are just little sayings,
don't throw a fit. Hey, so
those are little sayings. Those aren't my philosophy, though.
No, I feel that.
I am so glad you made me wait to hear your philosophies.
Do you know the philosophy now? Could you repeat it back to me?
I truly can't. I have no idea what you said.
Well,
I'll go on to the
next season. So fantastic. Thank you, Katie, by the way, for clarifying all of that in there. So we get to do the fun red flag, green flag. These ones are pretty good this week, I might say. Mm-hmm. I've got some interesting thoughts on all these.
They are.
So we'll start it off, chat. Again, if you guys want to use green flags, green. What's up, Jasmine? If you guys want to use,
hi, Jasmine.
Want to say hi to your friend real quick? Yeah. Hi, Jasmine.
I know we usually don't. We usually don't interact with the chat as much, but I can't help myself because I love you.
I can edit it all.
Thanks.
Welcome, Jasmine. All right. So red flag, green flag. You don't feature on their social media accounts after a few months of dating.
Ooh. I like that you got specific with this one by saying only a few months of dating.
Yeah. I want you to go first.
Here's the thing that's hard with that is while I don't necessarily give it any flag. I don't really think that that's a red flag after a few months, but I don't think that's a green flag. That's hard.
It's like an amber flag for you.
Yeah, it's like you just keep watching and seeing.
It's crazy that you say that because I float right in the same with you. Like, you want to post me? Post me. You don't want to post me? But I could see why people would think it's a red flag, especially if they felt like it was serious and like, dude, like,
actually,
why are you not sharing anything?
I actually have. I have thought this. I thought this through a little bit more. I think there's a difference between main posts and stories. I think it's a red flag if it hasn't been, been a few months and you're not even getting any stories. But main posts,
Ooh.
I mean, you're coming from someone that doesn't really do a lot of main posts, and then their significant other is a photographer that only posts other people. So this is hard for me to answer. So I think um, the main posts or whatever, but I think it's a red flag if you are not being posted on their
If
stories.
you didn't make the story, so you got to at least make the story. If you make the story,
And
not a red flag.
it depends on the person too. Here, that's the other thing is if they're posting everything else and post, like if they're a poster and they post on their story and they do mean like, then that's a red flag. But if they don't post at all and they're like rarely on it, then I'm like, oh well, they just don't post. I don't care.
Guys, stop posting. Then you never have to worry about it. Easy. No more
Kind
posts.
of. What's your
All
take
right,
on
red
this?
flag, green flag. I'm the
Wait,
same.
what did you decide? Oh,
I was like Amber, like in the middle. Like I could really care less, but I think you got a point with the story. Like maybe make the story after a few months at least. A hand, something. Your feet walking next to theirs. I don't know. That's like whatever you girls.
okay.
Do
We
for
don't
your
have to
weird
get into
posts.
details about what they need to post,
Okay.
but
I'm just. I mean, like if my feet made it to their post, I would. Green flag. Okay. How dating somebody that has several baby
baby
this is
mamas
weird that it's
and
mothers and fathers, but yeah, daddies.
baby daddies and
But
baby
it would
mamas.
yeah, it'd be weird yeah, okay, I guess both, yeah. So if somebody I guess had a bunch of kids with somebody else, um,
Well,
maybe be a little bit of
you
a
have to get
red
this
flag for
you
me.
have to get this right. It's several other people. It's not a lot of kids with
Yeah.
one person. It's several kids
No,
with
absolutely.
several people.
Yeah. So
What did you
several
say?
baby if I think there's a number.
You're
Like if there was
struggling. It's
three,
several.
3 or 4, yeah, you're starting to get the red flag from me. Like I can understand like I don't know. That's me. That's what I'm sticking. I don't want to get too deep into it. But if you're like 3 different daddies about theirs where I'm like starting to, the red flags like we're raising it up.
I agree. I think it's a red flag. But yeah, I mean, like one is whatever. 2 is like, okay, that's kind of a lot, and then 3 is like, okay, this
Yeah.
is a pattern, and I don't want to deal with
Yeah.
that many other
It's like
people.
you just like
Red flag.
need to figure out yeah. Okay, red flag. Checks their phone constantly but takes forever to text you back. That'll be a red flag for me.
I feel like you aimed this question like to me.
Not
I
yet.
feel like that's
Um
my life.
yeah, if I was hanging out with you on like a consistent basis and you were always on your phone, knowing that you do not respond to anything, then that would be a red flag. But if you're never
Here's
on your phone and you're never
I don't think
go ahead,
I'm like not here's the thing. When I'm hanging out with other people, I really am not on my phone. So that is the one thing. But I always have my phone on me. I just am like when I'm hanging out with friends and stuff, I think it's rude to be on your phone. So that's why I like don't respond right away, but
well,
I do
no, but
take
that makes
forever to
sense.
respond.
Like if you and I are hanging out and you're never on the phone, then that makes sense. It's
Okay,
when you and I
okay.
are hanging out and you're consistently on your phone, but then I would know like you're always on your phone when you're with people, right? So if you
Yeah,
were
no.
not on your phone with a bunch of people, then I would always know like she's with somebody. You know what I mean?
Okay, then yeah, that
So
makes sense.
that's
So then
where
I guess I would
big
give
red
that a
flag.
red flag as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you're obviously on your phone all the time. If you're not hitting me back and stuff, then you're choosing not to on purpose. Um, they don't hold a long-term view of their life or where they are headed. I think this could depend on the age of the person. If you like, if you're 40 years old and you really kind of like don't have like an idea of what to do after this point and you're just kind of free flowing, maybe a red flag. If you're 20 something and even maybe in your 30s, like you're working, you're doing your thing, I get it. But like I think after 40, 45, getting into like the older range, if you're like dating a dude and like he just has never like had a plan or like has never like cultivated something and he's just, I feel like, or a woman, I feel like that can kind of start to be a red flag as well. It's situational,
Ye-
but you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I mean, I do think it's a little bit of a red flag, but I also think you need to look on where the person is at like now in their life. And if it's like a mess and they don't know what they're doing, then like, okay, red flag. But that's a hard one. I guess overall red flag.
I mean, we all go through ups and downs in our life, right? Like you could be super successful and then you could not be successful. You could have a lot of money and not have a lot of money.
Mm.
So I don't want it to be construed that like any of that is a
No, I
basis.
think,
But it's like if you're in the
yeah.
dump and you don't have a plan of like, how am I going to get out of it? Like you're 45, you maybe you've lost everything. I get it. But if you're not like trying to rebuild your life, red flag. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
I think the more important part is where the like intentions are. If you're like trying to build it and do, you see in the future and
well,
do all
that's
the
it.
things,
Is
and
if they have
that's
a long
fine.
term view, yeah, yeah. If you have a view,
Yeah,
like it's great. If you're like, I'm just winging it. I'm fucking 55 years old, single. We'll see what happens. Probably just should be single.
probably.
That's my guess. Um, this one I'm already gonna say it before I even have to say it. Huge red flag to me because
I
I'm the
know,
nicest
I
person in this
know.
entire
I
world.
don't even know if anyone would
Um,
say this is a green flag.
yeah, probably not. But if somebody I'm with ends up being rude to any type of like customer service, staff, anybody, even like being like, I understand like being upset and like depending on certain things. But if you're just blatantly an asshole to like people in the service industry or just customer service, whatever, like, yeah, big red flag. I don't like when people
I
talk
don't
to people like
even,
that for no reason.
yeah, I don't even have friends like that in my life. I would never. I think that is the rudest thing
Katie.
ever. I think it's
Yeah.
so
Don't be
rude
mean.
that, yeah, I think like for me, because obviously I do like customer service stuff too with, I do like the emails and stuff. If you're rude to me, I'm not helping you. I'm like,
Yeah. I
nope.
it's crazy. Like sometimes if like I'm still having a bad experience or something didn't come out right, like let's say I ordered like really expensive food. Like if I order normal food and it's not right, I don't really care. But if I go to like really expensive places and something comes out not like a steak, if it's not cooked right, if it's close enough, I will never be the guy that's like, oh my god, send this back or anything. If it was really bad, like if I ordered a medium rare steak and it came out like medium well or something, I would still eat it, and then I would tell like the waiter, be like, dude, look, steak was great, but I'm just letting you know it came out like medium well. I ordered it this, all good though. But I
If
might throw out
something,
that, but I would never be rude.
I would never be rude. If something comes out completely wrong or something, or, whatever that I won't eat, I will still, like, even if I
Yeah,
tell them like it's messed up, I will still not be rude. I'm like, I'm so
yeah.
sorry. Like I'm like overly
Hmm.
nice, like telling them
Don't
like
you hate that?
that they
Yeah,
messed up my food. But it's, yeah, I would never,
yeah,
never be mean. But
yeah. We've got a lot of people in chat with red flags, and I don't blame them. I'm sure there are people out there that like are probably just like, I hate the staff. I love to see that or something. I'm sure there's people like that.
oh my god.
This one I like. Not afraid to disagree with you on things. I feel like this could go either way for somebody. How do you feel if somebody disagrees with you on just whatever? Let's say you're talking to
I
somebody, dating them, and
think
you're
I think not being afraid to disagree with somebody is a good thing. I think that's a positive red flag. I think that there's too much um,
wait. You
attention
said
on,
positive red flag.
oh, green flag, sorry, positive green flag, sorry,
Okay,
I love my red flags, but this is a green flag. I think that there's too
that's a
much, like
positive
too
red.
many
Yeah.
people. There are too many people that like love the idea of like a Bonnie and Clyde, like will do, whatever with their partner, like they will die on the hill with their partner if even if they're wrong. And I think that's the worst thing ever to like say that you will like agree with your partner even though you know they are wrong just for the fact of like having their back or something. I think that's so bad for the world and so toxic and such a negative thing. So, I mean, obviously, you shouldn't be with somebody that's making you agree with their every move, even if it's a bad move. So, I think you need to be with somebody that can tell you when, nicely, there's a way to discuss everything. You can't, like, if someone's being rude
Yeah.
to you and
This
disagreeing,
is
then of
just
course,
disagreeing.
that's
Yeah.
awful. But just disagreeing, I think, yeah, that's life. You're not always going to be right, and people are going to disagree, and I think can be a positive.
I think it's a big green flag. I feel like if you can just be yourself and if you're not hiding anything back, regardless of early on or later in the relationship or whatever, if you are just going to be straight up with somebody and they're cool with it and they like are like, okay, you disagree in this, like, great. If somebody that can't stand it or whatever, if it's like, I hate that he disagrees with me on this or you don't find common value in the same things, it's great to know that now than like 2 years down the road or like holding that in and then you like build up all this frustration and you're like, I hate all this stuff about you. And it's like you probably should have found out if you were better compatible by like being honest whether you disagree or
100%.
not. So please do that. If you are
Agree.
dating me, just disagree with me about everything. I'm fine with it. Tell me. I don't have to be right. I know I'm right. It's fine.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm done. All right. We're on our last part of the show.
So this is
what
the
is
fun
this
time
one?
for you guys. This is the TikTok quickfire questions, and we will be taking questions from everybody in our chat as quickly as we can. They can be yes or no questions. They can be a little deep. We will try to answer as many of them as we can in the next few minutes, and then that will be the end of it.
Okay.
And I just want to notice that Katie is absolutely happy to disagree with me, and I know that for a fact as well. Katie didn't even have to put it in chat because I know she likes to disagree.
We're cutting all that out.
Christmas song. I don't have a favorite. No, I don't have a favorite Christmas song specifically, but I do like Christmas music. You got a favorite Christmas song?
I love all Christmas music. I love the Grinch, so I'm gonna go with I love the Grinch's song.
Nice. If you could, what was it? Hang out with anybody alive? If you could spend a day with anyone alive or deceased, who would it be and why? I would probably want to hang out with Johnny Depp for a day.
Okay.
He probably has some interesting thoughts.
Probably. I don't know who I'd want to hang out with. I gotta think about that.
Favorite Christmas tree? Is that what it was? What Katie asked?
Favorite Christmas movie?
Oh, movie. Favorite Christmas tree. Like, favorite Christmas movie. I like a lot of the
Grinch.
Clay. Like the Grinch, like the new Grinch.
I'll do a classic, the original.
Not the one with Jim Carrey?
No, I mean, yeah, I do. I like them all, but I love the original. It's my favorite.
Okay. Yeah, I like some of the old ones, like the Elf and the Abominable Snowman. Do you remember those? They're like clay figurines, kind of.
Yep.
Home Alone is a good one. There's so many Christmas trees out there, Katie.
I can't. Rado, have you seen? Is it Santa Claus is Coming to Town? Is that the one with like the clay figure ones?
Yeah, it might be. I forget the name of them. I just see they pop up on the 25 Days of Christmas, and I watch them. Yeah, Christmas Vacation. Obviously, that's a go-to for a lot of people. I've seen it 400 million times. Still good.
Love it.
Have you ever seen the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation?
Mm-mm.
Oh, somebody has some homework to do this December. You
Write
need
them down
to
for me.
watch
I'll watch them
National
all.
Lampoon's. Dang. Favorite Christmas gift as a kid. Christmas Story is good. Favorite Christmas gift as a kid. One of my biggest ones was when I got my first snowboard. Definitely was awesome.
I don't know. I can't remember.
The
I can't
gift to
remember
go to
gifts I
school for
got.
one day.
Okay, that never happened. So that's depressing.
They didn't give you that gift? That's sad.
No. Oh my God. All right, you guys. I think that's the end of our show.
Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for the live show. Again, you guys can send all of your questions to us at simplysubjectivepodcast@gmail.com. And then catch us live when, Abby?
Every Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on TikTok.